30% of the federal government are veterans. And Lord, a lot of them who voted for Trump, now they crying because they getting laid off. And I'm sitting here going, he didn't love veterans. That man don't care. He skipped out on the war and he said, what did he say? He said, trying to avoid STDs was his personal Vietnam. That's literally what that fool said. And so he didn't. So all these people who fell for that nonsense, he didn't love the military. Now they learning.
Yeah, they learning real quick. There's 3 issues that I take with the felon in chief. First and foremost, this war that he's causing with our allies. He's putting military service members in danger by doing this. They're already saying they're not going to refuel our carriers. Okay, that's just step 1. Okay, secondly, all these veterans that are complaining, we voted for him and we're, how could he do this to us? You knew what was coming. He's been saying this. Even
for the folks at home, you served. How long did you serve?
I served a total of 7.5 years.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Air Force and then National Guard. So you have these individuals who voted for him who say, oh, we didn't expect him to do this, but he's been saying this. As service members or as military, if our commander-in-chief says they're going to do something, we're going to assume that they're going to do it. So for them to come back and say, well, we didn't think it was going to be this bad. No, the issue was you didn't think it would impact you.
Boom.
Yes.
You did not think it would impact you. So that's my third issue that comes up. Now we have veterans who did not vote for him, including myself, who are now being fired, who can't get health care, who are having all these other issues, who served their country valiantly, honorably. And now we have to fight for health care somewhere else because...
And they're doing massive cuts to the VA. They're looking at cutting benefits as well. And so all the Republicans, they all been lying about how much they love the military.
Absolutely.
They love to send troops to war, but not take care of them when they're at home.
They like the idea of it. They like to claim that they're patriotic, but they don't follow up with it. And Trump, throughout his first presidency, he made fun of different service members who were held as prisoners of war. I mean, he has time and time again shown that he does not respect the military, and yet we have service members and veterans who still voted for him. And now they're crying. And I see these posts all the time, and I'll comment and say, you know what? As a service member myself, I don't feel, or as a former service member myself, I don't feel sorry for your situation because we tried to tell you. But you didn't care because you didn't think it impacted you. And now it does. And so now we're in this predicament that now we have to try to rally them all together. And we still got veterans who are saying they still support him after being fired by him. I don't understand that. But, at this point, I'm just praying that people will start getting some common sense and start fighting back. Whether it's through words, whether it's showing up and protesting, this being nice and sending letters and roo-roo, rah-rah, that's not going to do it anymore. And as someone that's in the military, we believe in force if needs be. So some people need to be thinking, what do we need to do to make sure our voices are heard?
Folks, you've heard me say this time and time again, and I'll say it right now. Ain't no millionaires and billionaires contributing to our show. Even the black ones. Do you have major advertisers who are spending their ad dollars with us? Absolutely not. Because the agencies say that, well, we don't do news. We can't do news. But I see these ads on Fox News. I see the ads on CNN. I see them on MSNBC. And there were people who literally said, oh, no, this ain't going to work. This is going to fail. Here we are 6 years and 4 months later, 1.58 million followers, started with 157,000. But it's also because of our fan base who contributed. 10,000 people watching live just on YouTube. More on our app, more on YouTube and the other places where we stream. And it's a lot of people, and they're people who I know personally, people who call and ask me to do favors, who don't even contribute to the show. There are people I've seen on social media talk about how we got to support, build our own ecosystem, support our own, who don't actually do it. My man Michael Harriet used to be with The Root, launched something called Contraband Camp. Last night, I signed up, $59.99 for a year. Because I can't say we need more black media, and I can't say that, but then I don't actually support it. Other people who I've actually poured into, invested in. So when I ask you to join us, there are people who are in our YouTube chat who are joining in. We don't charge a subscription fee. There's no minimum amount we charge you. Because the goal that we wanted is for this to be open so people can be able to access it. I was walking through the Atlanta airport When I arrived on Tuesday and I left on Wednesday. And so many brothers and sisters stopped me and they said, man, I'm watching your show. I'm listening to the podcast. Thank you. Keep going, keep going, keep going. But y'all, I said all the time, we cannot keep going if we can't fund it. The lease of our office is up next year. It's going to be an increase. When we talk about staff, there's some positions that we would love to fill. Today, we actually shot 2 pilots of a show that I would love to launch. And we're going to run those shows in the next 2 weeks. There are 2 of the shows that we're planning pilots on. That's going to cost money for the people producing and working it and for the people who are hosting the show. Because I'm not saying please work for free. But we are not going to be able to have voices that speak for us if we don't support those platforms. So I do what I'm asking you to do. I literally support other Black-owned media platforms because we need more of the voices than just me. I'm just one person. But I want to create Black Star Network to create more Black Stars. I want to be able for us to have 6, 8, 10 different shows hosted by millennial, Gen Z, and other Gen Xers. I tried to do a show with a Generation Alpha, but the ask of his daddy was so outlandish that I said, there's no way I can even do that. But there are others who I'm looking at. Oh yes, when I travel the country, I'm paying attention and I'm looking at people who are 12 and 14 and 15 years old and watching them saying, how can I support what they're doing and build the next generation? So when we ask you to support us, when I say we want 20,000 people on average giving $50 each, which comes out to $4.19 a month, 13 cents a day, y'all, that's $1 million. That $1 million from those folks is huge. Brother hit me today. He said, man, I've been talking about contributing. He said, I finally did it today. He contributed $250. There's some other people I saw, they contributed $10. Somebody contributed $1.08. That 8 cents matters just like it was $800. It all adds up. So what we do here is what nobody else in Black-owned media is doing. We are trying to build a network of multiple voices that will speak to our people in a way to serve as giving the clarion call to justice, to truth, to honesty, to decency, the people who are going to cast the vision. And we need you to say, like the people did to Nehemiah, let us rebuild. I would love for all the people who are watching, would love for today for us to raise $100,000. If 2,000 people gave $50 and there's 10,000 of y'all on YouTube right now, we hit that easy. You can't give us direct on the Cash App because they shut down our accounts. So you can use Stripe. This is the QR code. I posted the link directly in the YouTube chat. But if you want to use Cash App for Stripe, it's right here. This QR code, if you're listening, go to blackstarnetwork.com. If you want to give via PayPal, PayPal is paypal.me/rmartinunfiltered. Venmo is venmo.com/rmunfiltered. Zelle is roland@rolandsmartin.com, roland@rolandmartinunfiltered.com. If you want to be old school, so your checking money order, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C., 20037-0196.